Cool, it's time to go live. We're here in Maidstone, this is our shop unit. We've got some stuff here. These are catnip treats, personalised plants. We've got some artwork. Simon Payne's watching. Hello Simon Payne. And I'm assuming most of Dover. Got some more art here. This is our shop unit, and that's a good silver.
Right, we're going live, everyone. Liam's coming in with the camera. He's live. You don't want to be spotted. Look away. Hello, Facebook. Bless you, Ian. Bless you. Right. We're live on Facebook. Hello, Facebook. You are live in Maidstone. Quick hide. Excellent. So the purpose of these Facebook Lives is, as your business progresses, you'll have different questions. And it's for us to be able to answer those questions and to help you get your business to the next level, wherever that is for you, because we're all at slightly different places. So that's the purpose. Katie's on social media finding the questions. Liam's doing this bit. And the other Katie and I will be answering the questions. Hello. So should we, I always like to start with the people who are actually here. Send us your questions, put them in the comments, we'll answer them. Katie's on it now. But who would like to start? We've been here 4 days together now. You must have some questions.
We are going to focus on cat things. From being broader, so we need to do a bit of rebranding. Which do we do first? The social media and getting followers, or the website, so that when we've got followers, people can buy stuff?
I would do your social media first.
Damn it!
The two business partners had two different views.
I would do your social media first. The reason is that's where your customers are. At this stage, your brand is important, your name is important, your colours are important, but not as important as talking directly to the people who can buy from you. So I would definitely go out with social media and talk to those customers.
And we've seen lots of businesses who build up a big social following before they're even ready to sell. Because then when the product or service or thing is to sell, you've already got an audience. And it makes your job so much better. So even if you're not quite ready, get out there and build a community of cat lovers or a community of art lovers. When you are ready, then you've already done the hard work. So definitely I would agree with Katie, get online, get on social, get out there first. It looks like the daughter won on this one.
She did run.
Unfortunately. Hello, Colette.
Can you run multiple Twitter accounts?
Can you run multiple Twitter accounts? Yes, is the simple answer. I have @Alan Donegan, which is me, where I mainly talk to my friends and talk about pizza and Lego. And I have @PopUp Business, which is the business account. And actually the business account is accessed by Liam and me and Katie, and the whole team have access to it. I definitely don't want to give Liam access to my personal account.
It would be great.
Is split focus leads to split results. So if you've got 5 Twitter accounts, it's very difficult to keep up and manage them all. So having one specifically for business and the people you reach will enable you to have better focus. We had a lovely lady in Poplar. She was running 2 businesses. She'd spent all day building a website. She came to me very proud of the website, and to be honest, it looked really good. On the home page it said, would you like business A or business B? And business A was a recruitment business. So are you looking to recruit someone, or are you looking for a job? And business B was, would you like hen party gift baskets? So if you're going on a hen party, we'll send you a care package. Do the people who are looking for recruitment and jobs want to know anything about hen party relief packages and what comes in those? And vice versa, do the hen party people even want to be thinking about work when they're doing that? And they're too different. So if you've got a completely different subject, you would have a different Twitter account or a different website. Otherwise, you've got confused messaging, and we're back to that confusing messaging, confusing results. Yeah, did that happy? Colette's happy? Excellent. Is anyone watching, Katie?
Yes. Laura says she's stalking you from Bridgend, and she'd like to know what are your top 3 tips for the best way to keep a good work-life balance and build your business the PopUp way.
Top 3 tips to a good work-life balance. I'm not sure I'm the best to tell that one because I'm not sure I have the best work-life balance.
Well, I discovered this a while ago, and if you love what you do, you don't really go to work. So there's lots of different tips and books about how to separate work from home. For me, they kind of merged, but I loved what I did. My business was part of our family. So we kind of talked over at dinner, then we did the washing up, then we talked more about it. It's not right for everybody. Some people like to give work here, and some people like to give home here. You've got to find the right balance for you and what feels right. But if you love what you do and it's exciting, it kind of merges in a little bit. It kind of merges in.
And then you get to the point where it's 10 o'clock at night, you're feeling tired, and you feel like you're losing because you want to go to bed, whereas actually you want to stay up and do what you do. And if you really do truly love what you love, do what you love, then it generally doesn't feel like work. And we have breakfast in the morning and talk about work. Not like that. Then we have, it sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? We're staying in the same hotel, separate rooms. But we talk at breakfast, and then we run the workshop, and then we debrief at night, and then we're working out, like we're sat at Curry thinking, how best can we help the people we're working with? And we really, truly enjoy what we do. So I think from the outside in, I have a horrendous work-life balance. But I'll tell you what, I love it. I love what I do, I love helping people. I don't really care. The only bit that I do have a cautionary tale is the health bit. Make sure you make time to do fitness, look after your diet, sleep. Sleep is important and all that stuff. Sometimes I forget because I get so excited about life that I forget to look after myself. And I think that's a big watch out for a lot of us. Yeah. Yes. Thank you for the question, Laura.
We've had lots of hellos. We've had hello from Dover.
Hello, Dover.
Hi, Dover.
And we've had hello from Andre Griffiths. He actually asked a question last time on Facebook, which was, I need to make money out of taking people on tours of small businesses in Cardiff. Number 1, how do I do it? Number 2, how do I approach them? It's quite a tough one.
I've got an idea.
You go first, what I'm thinking.
Cool. So, if I was to set up a tour company, and I've toyed with the idea of doing tours of Basingstoke. You might be thinking, I think I could launch that. Be called Amazing Stoke Tours.
That would be hard.
I could sell that. But basically, you need the description of what it is you do, very, very simply. And then you need to find people who would buy it. And that's kind of the key bit. There's many ways to do this. Number 1 would be affiliates. So we spoke yesterday about you being affiliates of other people's products. It works both ways. Other people can be affiliates of your products. An example of this recently is I was booking a flight to New York, and when I booked the flight it said, would you also be interested in experiences? And I thought, ooh, yes. So I clicked, and there was a pizza tour of New York. What did you think I thought? Like, pizza tour of New York? I'm in. And I booked right there and then. The airline was British Airways. Do you think BA was running a pizza tour of New York? No, it was someone else's company, and BA got a commission for selling it. So I would find affiliates who would sell your tour, your product, different places. So that would be number 1. Number 2, there's Airbnb has just released Airbnb experiences for different towns. I'd be looking to get my tour of Basingstoke, Cardiff on there. Then there's going to be groups and Facebook pages and all the marketing methods we've spoken about. But the key is have a very simple description of what it is you do that sells it and gets people excited, and then go big and promote it absolutely everywhere.
I agree. I mean, when you said affiliates, I would say the coach companies, the train companies. You don't have to go to Airbnb. There's lots of small places you can go to. Lots of taxi people also have the little minibuses as well. They bring people out of town and in. So you can do this small as well. You don't have to go to British Airways or Airbnb to do it.
Perfect. So get it out there, Andre. Just get it out there. She came on the Cardiff course. She's fabulous. Launch it. Press publish. Now. Perfect.
We've got a bit of a troublemaker online. His name is Simon Payne. He sends love from Dover, and he would like to know what's the average airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow.
Simon Payne is my business partner. If you can find him online, please give him abuse. He's at Simon Payne on Twitter, or he's on Facebook. Just send him some messages of abuse. Maidstone is way better than Dover.
Simon, an African or a European swallow?
Oh, yeah, we need clarification.
Yes, we have a question from the back. An actual business one.
How do you know? You talk about online having personal accounts and company accounts. If you're growing a business, doesn't that dilute your brand?
It depends. For some of us, our business might be us. And I would definitely say there's a caveat, which is people buy from people. They see the brand, but they don't necessarily always connect with the big brand. They buy from the actual person. So if you're an individual consultant, your name is the company. That's you. They'll buy you. When I was running training courses, they did not care that I was enjoy presenting. The companies wanted Aling to do the course. So I think as an individual consultant, it's your name. And there's not much of a way around that. That's what people are going to buy. But for some of us, like cat products, we might go for a cat-related business, a cat-related business name. But for consultants, absolutely, I would not dilute that at all. I'd go for one account, one name, and then say what type of consultant, what type of training, what type of thing that I do. Definitely. Hello, Lee.
I was asked the question at lunchtime when speaking to Chris about what's stopping me now from starting my business, and my answer was experience. So what would be your advice on how I can go and find experience?
Katie's got an answer, I've got an answer. Katie will go first.
You don't need experience. You just need to do it. As scary as that seems, really scary. You need to do it. Face painting company, can't face paint. Big high profile client, really worried about doing it, nervous. Just did it because I went along with it. Did it, it happened. We all survived, the children survived, everybody was fine. The face painting wasn't great. As my brother would say, live to fight another day. So then we did it again. Next time I got somebody, but I understood what it was like and I learned. So you kind of have to just go and do it. And take that step. It's worth it.
Scary step.
It is scary, but it's actually not that bad when you get there. Scarier thinking about it than doing it.
Yeah.
Way scary. The way I did it was I went and actually did my product or service for free in different places. So I would go and do a taster for someone, and knowing that I'd managed to do it and that people liked it and it was successful gave me confidence. And there's this whole thing that good judgment is often the result of experience, which is often the result of bad judgment. And actually you've got to go out there and get it wrong to know how you can get it right. Like when Facebook Live had launched, we'd never done live TV, we'd never done any of that. We just went, we'll have a go, we'll see what happens. This may or may not be amazing, I don't know, you'll tell us in the comments. But you have to have a go, and the 10th time we've done this, the show will be way better than it is now. The only way to get experience is to go and do it. I would say that it could be useful testing on clients that won't be your biggest paying clients in the future. So if you can test it on a friend, a family, you can do it for someone, that will give you confidence that it actually works. My version was going and speaking at Toastmasters and then running different workshops, and then all of a sudden I'd done it for free and I had proof for myself, which built my self-confidence to actually go and do it. But you've got to get out there and do it. It's the only way. The only way. The only way. Perfect.
Got a question from Naomi on the Facebook Live. She's doing really well. She has a van now, she says.
She has a van.
Yes.
Congratulations on the van, Naomi.
She's having a bit of a dilemma. She wants to expand and take on another person, but she doesn't think she can afford it straight away. On the flip side, she wouldn't actually be able to grow her business without adding another person because she's a dog walker. So what's your advice on that?
I have an idea. Do you have an idea?
Well, I would have an idea, which goes back to if you can do it for free, do it. So if she needs an extra pair of hands for dog walking, is there a friend? Is there a teenage 16, 17-year-old school leaver she can take? And then she doesn't have to pay them. It can be a work experience, but it's also, you don't want to exploit people either, so it has to kind of be a nice friend sort of thing. And then also the other way to do it is to do it freelance. So rather than taking somebody on and having to get an employment contract and then become your formal employee, you can do it freelance. So that person will invoice the company, invoice the dog walking company. So I'll say to Lee, for example, I need help on Mondays and Wednesdays. You'll go, great, I'm free Mondays and Wednesdays. This is how much I am a day. We'll agree that, shake hands on that. You send me an invoice for those days, and then I pay you an invoice. But you're not my employee, you're like my contractor. You're almost like taking on another company to help me. So that's an easy way to do it.
That was how I grew my business. I got to the stage where I was selling more courses than I could cope with, but I didn't have the money in the bank to get an actual member of staff, and I didn't want that responsibility of pensions and stuff. So I took on a contractor, which then there's no responsibility. Like, you do a contract for a 2-week course, and if I don't win another one, I don't still have to pay their wages. So contractor, if you can find another dog sitter, another dog walker that doesn't have all the business they want, find them and use them as a contractor. That's the best way round it. If it's the actual getting the van, we're back to 5 ways to start for free, which is, can I get it for free? Can I borrow it? Can I barter for it? Could I sell stuff to raise the money to do it? Or could I sell my value before I create it? So could I get the people who want dog walking to commit up front to doing it for a period of time and pay me some money up front that gets me enough to get the money to get the deposit on the van?
A great way of doing that is to add an extra dog walk. So if you book 5, pay me in advance, you get 1 free. So rather than discounting, you just add value to it. And that's a good offer for existing customers.
The final thought is, when I was running a landscape firm, we leased our vans on a monthly basis, so we didn't actually own the vans. And there are companies out there that will do a no contract lease. You pay slightly more per month, but you can hand it back if it doesn't work within a week or so. So maybe having a look at those is a good way to start, but it's not a long-term solution. So there's some ideas to get you going. I always get nervous when Liam zooms in at my face. He's like this, zooming in at my face. What are you doing, Liam? The people don't need to see that. Excellent.
We have a couple of competition-related questions.
Ooh.
So Tertia, sorry Tertia if I'm butchering your name, she says, how do you manage the competition within your industry? When considering starting a small business for local people, should we be mindful and considerate of those businesses doing something similar, especially in a close-knit community?
Now, there's 2 ways here. There's the entrepreneur in me.
That's the one that comes out first.
It says they're responsible for their customers and what they do, and you're responsible for your customers and what you do. From the way I've worked, I wouldn't ever go directly to, when I was very small, to somebody else's customers if I knew them. If they were a small business and a one-man band like me. As we grew, we did. We went for other companies that were the same size as us. We looked at their Twitter feed, we had a look who was following them, we found out who their clients were, and we approached them direct. We didn't do anything underhand, we didn't do anything what every brand and every company does. But in a small community, there can be issues with that. But I think if you act with integrity, you're honest, you do what you say, you're clear, you do your business properly, and honestly, I don't think there's anything wrong in that either. I like a bit of competition, makes us all better.
I love competition. I guess my analogy, imagine you were running a race and there's like 5 of you in a row. If you look over at the people next to you when you're running the race, what happens? You slow down, you fall over, you trip, you stumble. I would say, run your own race. Always be better than you can be. Focus on what you're doing and improving it and improving it and improving it. And I'll tell you what, if you do that, you will be way ahead of everyone else. Just focus on getting your own stuff, your own work, your own product better. I probably spend 2% of my time looking at other competition. Maybe even 1%, maybe even not that. I don't really bother. I'm just like, how can we make my workshops the best they can be? And how can I reach all the housing associations? I don't care whether someone else is client, I just do what I do. So I do me, they do them, and I'll forge on no matter what. We have a question from Colette at the back, or a comment.
Not so much a question, but just to add on to that comment there, from my time in BNI, which is Business Network International, they were only allowed 1 member of each profession to a group, like a networking group. And you'd sometimes have people want to come along, and the people who were there wanted to block them, and they thought, it's a competitor, I don't want them doing that. And when we sat them down, we found that when they talked about their businesses in depth with each other, they actually had some areas which had overlap, but then there were other areas where they had a specialism, and they could actually work together really well. So if you're in a small community, you may find talking to your competitors and saying, what do I do that you don't, that we can work together on? And that might then bring you more custom and their support rather than the tension that goes on with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in the spirit of working together, same industry, we had this at a recent pop-up where there was a wedding photography business, a wedding cake business, and the what do you call them, the gifts, the favours business. Like, they're a perfect group to work together because they're all going for the same customers, but there's a non-compete. So if you can find those people, they are fabulous to work with. My main focus is do what you do. Who cares what the rest of the world is doing? Launch your own business, focus on your own stuff, go get customers and do your own stuff. The more time you spend focused on other people, the less time you spend focused on growing, improving, getting to where you want to get to.
Cool.
Danny's been in touch. Danny came on the Maidstone event that we did in April in Toggle.
Oh, she did Pokemon.
She did Pokemon
Hey
events.
Danny, Pokemon events.
She says, what's the best way to approach customers of a local rival or competitor that has recently gone out of business without getting negative responses? She says much of the customer base of her events is fairly loyal to their previous club.
Ooh. But the previous club has folded.
Yeah, it's gone.
Like it.
Well, if they haven't got a supplier, someone has to fill the void. Someone does. So if the other company's gone bust, there's no reason why you can't approach them. I would find all their followers on Twitter and send them a message. Like, definitely, the one thing I would never do in business, or I try not to do, is slag off the competition.
Never.
I don't want to avoid that. I don't want to do that.
Never.
So if we can stay positive and say, well, like, have you fancy coming to this? Do you want to come to that? And chat to them, find them in the communities. We can do it positively, that will work. What we don't want to say is, well, they were rubbish anyway. Come to our events. That's going to offend people and create a bad buzz.
We had some of our customers would ask us what we thought of competitors. And inside I would think awful things about some of them because I knew that they didn't do the job properly, I knew that they were thorough, I knew they cut corners. I would never, ever say it. Because once you start down that road, it's just the wrong thing to do. I'd say they're running a business too. You can see what they can do. We're running our business. You can see what we can do. It's up to you to choose. And they would try and get you to say stuff about, well, they're rubbish. They did this. That's up to them what they do. I do my thing, and I do it like this. So never ever slag off your competitors ever. Golden rule.
Yes. And Danny, like, it'd be lovely to see you. Pop in. Awesome. Anyone here?
We have a few from last time.
You have one from the internet, live.
Cool.
From the internet.
From the internet. You can tell Alan's over 30 because he says the term the internet.
Maria's been running her business for 3 years around her full-time job. She's got a Facebook page, Etsy, and New Monday. New Monday? I'm not heard of that. Am I saying that right?
It's in direct competition with Etsy.
Ooh, Etsy competitor. She says she's making very few sales. Any tips? She makes glass sun catchers and gemstone jewellery.
Glass sun catchers and gemstone jewellery. Tips for sales.
The first thing I would do is look at what has sold. So see the thing that has sold, and then look at the type of person who's bought, and think, are those two things, this is the information I've got at the moment that's real. This person bought this, and this person bought this. So my best sellers and the types of people, then I would try and research and understand why they've bought. So I'd look at the type of profile. Can I find them on Twitter? Can I find them on Facebook? Where do they live? What do they do? What are their interests? What was it about these products that they liked? And then try and do more of those products, similar ones, similar versions, different colours, whatever it is, that's resonating with people. Then try and understand these 2 people or 3 people or 10 people that have bought. What do they do? And then go and try and find other people who've got similar interests, clone them. Just really simple things, even if it's 1 or 2 people, it's a start and it moves you forward.
And I would say as well, it's the number of people you approach. And I think that's the big thing, definitely from sales day. It's the number of people you put the product in front of. So my first question, if it's not selling, is how many people see your product every day? How many people do you ask to buy every single day? And I know you've got a full-time job, but that doesn't mean you can't send an email out, you can't send tweets out. If you've asked 200,000 people if they want to buy your product and you've not got many sales, well, that tells me one thing. It may be the price, it may be the description, it may be that you've asked the wrong 200,000 people and they're not your market. But first question is, how many people have you reached? How many people have you got your sales message out in front of? If you've not asked many people, there's a direct, well, you've asked 10 people at the top, you're lucky if you get 1 person at the bottom of the sales funnel. So question 1, how many people? Then, if you've approached everyone, then we need to look at pricing. Do we need to increase the price to get more sales? A lot of new entrepreneurs charge too little for what they're doing. And in the UK, there is a massive belief you get what you pay for. And it's ingrained into us. My mum always said, buy cheap, buy twice. And these sayings are ingrained into us. I always remember there's an incredible guy we met in Colorado. His name was Ted. He had an amazing white beard, giant guy, and he was selling writing guides. And it was a guide how to be a creative writer. How much do you think his writing guides were? $2. $2. It's like £1.40. When you see that, like, what do you think my first reaction was to they're so cheap? Can't be any good. And actually I would prefer to pay more to get the best because my time is valuable. And I'm making this judgment without even knowing if it's good. So sometimes, like, I'm sure you've done this in supermarkets, you go in and there's all the wine, and you go, I don't want a £4 bottle, the £7 bottle will be better. How do you know? Have you done a blindfold taste test? You just think because it's worth more, it's better. So actually sometimes with new entrepreneurs, what we found is I need to get you to double your price. So how many people you reached, what's your price, and then how good are your pictures and your marketing material? And actually we need to analyse all this stuff. So maybe you can like stick us a link to your website, stick us some details, we'll have a look at it in the comments. But you actually need to sort of go through this step by step to analyse, uncover what's actually happening with the business.
Maria's come back and said she has 31,000 followers on Instagram.
31,000 followers. That's an incredible number. When was the last time you asked them to buy? And did you directly ask them? How many direct messages have you sent? How many likes do you get? Do you reply to all the comments? Like, it sounds like we've got a fabulous first step in the number of people. My thing is, how direct are we being? How direct are we being? And if you don't ask, you don't get. And it's great to post pictures of stuff and get likes, but that does not put cash in your pocket. We have a question from the room.
So, going back to what you were saying is you should like double what you think you're worth, kind of. So, say I was charging £80 as a personal trainer for 1 hour session. I've in the last 2 weeks, I've been getting in contact with people, directly asking them. They've said you're too expensive. So how do because I know that I'm worth £80 an hour, but how do I get them to believe that just by talking to them?
You'd have to look at who you're speaking to. So, are they the right people to ask? Have they got that much money to spend on personal training? Because it's a lot of money to spend on personal training. It is for me, but not for some people I know. So the people, in my neighbourhood or the neighbourhood next door, there's a lot of money there. They would be more interested in it, but I wouldn't necessarily. So it's possible you're asking the wrong people. Because if it's a premium service, it's a premium price. I've read things that don't have a personal trainer if they cost less than £50 an hour. But that's exactly what Alan says. It's expensive, we think it's good, but you've also got to look at what cash people have got to spend on certain things. So I think it's about who you're talking to, and maybe tuning that and looking at your market.
I would add one little bit to that. The most expensive personal trainer I've come across, there's a guy in London who does personal training for entrepreneurs that are growing businesses. People who are incredibly busy and earn a lot of money. He has 8 clients. That's the maximum he will take at any one point. And he does it on a yearly basis. How much do you think he charges to be your personal trainer for a year?
20 grand.
It's 40 grand. Wow. So there's everyone from someone who charges 40 grand to 8 clients, you can do the maths, all the way down to people who are charging £10 an hour and they can't get people to sign up. There's some massive clues in that, and if someone's saying it's too expensive, it's rarely the price, it's the fact they don't see value in what they're getting back. So if we can show them what the actual value is, like can you get twice the results that a £40 an hour person gets? And can we show that that works and what happens, and can we persuade them of the value? There's a real value bit. And if the person struggles to pay £10 an hour for something, they're never going to pay 80. But a really wealthy person, £80 an hour, it's nothing. And paying to have the best for someone who's got a very successful business, they'd rather spend more to have the absolute best. So it does depend who you're marketing to. We have a question from Katie.
I had an idea.
Oh, we had an idea from Katie.
Sorry, personal trainer, I forgot your name.
Rosie.
You could take a risk and have fees based on when you get results or not for your first client, just to get your foot in the door, and then you've got that case study you can use to prove that it works to other clients.
So could you give me an example?
Just say you'll do it for free or for a reduced price for the first person.
Or your money back.
I like the results based.
90-day guarantee or your money back, or if you don't lose the however many stone they want to lose, you have your money back, something like that. And then it takes away the risk for them.
Or results based, so you could do on body fat percentage. So you measure them on week 1 and you measure them at the end on 2 months. If we hit this, then you pay the full amount. That'll motivate you to work them hard. But yeah, results based is very interesting, and taking away that risk of committing can help. Cool. We're going to be doing pricing on Friday as well, so we will do way more on pricing. Awesome. So it's 2:19. Pretty much we've overrun on the Q&A. Were there any more online? Are we okay? Everyone's all right? Perfect. So we're going to wrap up the Q&A. Katie, do you have any closing comments?
Thanks very much, Facebook Live. That was the first one I've ever done, and it was brilliant. I can't wait to do the next one.
Excellent. So we will be back again on the Facebook Live in 2 weeks' time. So we do one every 2 weeks on the Friday. So Maidstone. Thursday, thank you. It's on Thursday. Don't listen to Alan. Thursday, 2 weeks' time. So if you've gone out there and tried everything we've said, come back in 2 weeks' time and you can quiz us online and we'll help you and answer questions. People on Facebook, if you want to find us, go to popupbusinessschool.co.uk/events, and you can see all our upcoming events. We'll be in Westminster coming up. We've got one in Saltash in Cornwall. Then we're going to Bolton and Wigan, plus Namibia. If you're in Africa, come along. We'll see you there. So we've got all those events coming up. Make sure you come along. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.